The army and security forces have been called in to enforce a lockdown declared by the government and largely ignored by many Lebanese. Concerns grew after a rapid rise in the daily coronavirus infection rates. Movement is now severely restricted.
We can no longer contain the virus. We will head into the unknown if every citizen doesn't take the necessary measures.
It's been nearly a week since the authorities sealed Lebanon's borders. They had already closed the public and private sectors as well as educational institutions. But the pace of infections hasn't slowed.
The relatively unsatisfactory degree of compliance in the streets makes the state of emergency more likely to be declared. I believe that the cabinet has been avoiding to declare a curfew because it would entail a number of harsh measures that would definitely narrow certain rights.
Lockdowns are harsh for the poor and informal workers who rely on daily wages. And in Lebanon, they are not being compensated.
Every man who has a family has to go out and provide for his kids. In all countries, when a state of emergency is declared, the government helps them medically and socially.
An unprecedented economic and financial crisis is only worsening. It is believed that at least 200,000 jobs have been lost in recent months. People here are blaming the government for avoiding its obligations.
By laws and by international practices, when a government declares a curfew, it has the obligation to provide its people with needed basic needs and a monthly installment for them to be able to sustain.
The state is nearly bankrupt. Many blame the political class for mismanagement and corruption, but a movement to topple those in power is also on hold as efforts focus on containing the pandemic. Lebanon's government is being criticized for failing to deal with the economic and social impact of the health crisis. The United Nations says policies are needed so the burden does not fall on those who can least afford it. Prime Minister Hassan Diab acknowledged that the tighter measures will hurt the economy, but he said the priority is to save people's lives. Authorities don't want to overwhelm ill-equipped and underfunded health facilities, but they've lost the battle to contain the virus. It's now about limiting its impact. In the words of the Interior Minister, the worst is yet to come. Zeina, Khodr, Jazeera, Beirut.